Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. I'm, of course, the Battle Room. And today we're going to be taking a look at the most recent teams from the Las Vegas Regionals. Now, I had the honor to attend this regional. I'm actually in the top 16. I finally made cut. I felt like I was due for one. I've been playing great mons, and I'm really happy that I was able to make top cut at this tournament. But we're not here for that. That's for another time. We're here to talk about the teams, to talk about what did well in this tournament. So, we'll get to my team, of course, because it did happen to do well in this tournament. So first off, we're going to talk about Basod's team here. We do have a couple teams here that did just barely miss cut. We're going to talk about Basod's team first. So we've got, this team was honestly pretty crazy. When I saw this team, I was like, damn, he's kind of cooking with this. This one's kind of nuts. So we've got that classic P2 Instant Amoongus. We'll start there. Pretty boring stuff. Nothing too crazy, right? But then we've got Como, Basque Legion, and Golden Go. This is I feel like Reg H has gotten to the point where there's a lot of teams that are just kind of the norm, the standard, and people just kind of pick them, they play them, they do their best, and they hope that they can win. But Basod actually team built here, and he cooked something really cool. Terra Fairy Blast P2 is really interesting. It still has this really solid Trick Room mode. I don't know why this guy's normal. I'm actually would be curious to know. I guess maybe just Last Respects, because you don't have a second normal type. Usually there's like an Ursa Luna or something here. But yeah, so we got the P2, we got Terra Fairy Blast, which I think is pretty cool, especially when you're running, like, you're not running Ursa Luna, you have other ways, right? Like, you don't need Terra Fighting, you have a whole ass Como. So, you can easily just run a different Terra, and I think Terra Blast is awesome, and I think P2 is awesome with Terra Blast. So, being able to run a different type, sick. Because this turns into a nasty fairy type. Then we've got Golden Go. You can easily set up here with Fake Out with Rage Powder. We also have Sludge Bomb, no Pollen Puff, a little more aggressive Amoongus for the Trick Room mode. But then we also have this Clanging Scales Como with Overcoat as well. Can function kind of in Trick Room and out of Trick Room, like with the support of Instant Amoongus. You can set up, you can just start spamming big damage with Clanging Scales. And then I think Como Golden Go is obviously a pretty godly duo, right? Because you have, what's the one thing that resists Dragon, right? It's going to be Steel or Fairy. And Steel, you know, it's a little different, but he can deal with on his own with his double coverage for steel types. But fairy types, he can't really hit. He gets annoyed by them. But Golden Go, he's really good into fairy types. So I think this is a really sick team. We've got this offensive Basque Legion to round everything out. Really sick stuff. Congrats to Basod for going so deep. And we got this Covert Cloak Incineroar. I think this team is really cool. I like Covert Cloak Incin with Goldie too, because it just makes this lead so potent. Neither of them can be faked out. It doesn't matter how fast your Incineroar is, because I'm just bulky and I have a Covert Cloak. You can't fake me out, so I'm just going to fake out you. And I don't have to worry about speed ties or any of that shit. I can just set up, and also into the enemy Goldies, you're allowed to just knock off turn 1 every time. It's really sick. 3 of the Pokemon can be faked out. I think this team is really cool, especially so late into Reg H. Next up is Collin Higher, me. I decided to run this team for this tournament. This is my favorite team in the format. One of my favorite teams of all time. I could talk about it for hours. I'm probably going to do a team report on it, because I just genuinely love this team so much. So you can look forward to that. I think this team is just so much fun to use and to play. It gives you so many options. You have Trick Room. You have Tailwind. Those are my 2 favorite fucking things together. Tail Room, oh my god, I can't get enough. I think Assault Vest Incineroar is so good right now. Very good. It just wins matchups by itself. It just makes Incineroar into like an unkillable god, right? Like, I have Intimidate, so effectively I'm at +1 defense, right? Like, technically I'm kind of at +1 defense, because you're at -1. And then I have an AV, which means I'm at +1 special defense. I literally just get to start the game at +1/+1, essentially, in a way, right? It's just absurd. This set is so broken. When I talk about it like that, it sounds absurd. Kilowattrel is Kilowattrel. I've honestly learned to love the bird a lot. I hated it a lot last year, and it felt like a necessary evil. But lately, I've come to just admire how awesome he is. He gives you so much versatility with Tailwind. Competitive is so annoying in Team Preview, and he also does a lot of damage. Like, I did have one game where I swept in Trick Room with Kilowattrel. With just because competitive was so good, and I was able to just keep him alive with Incineroar, and competitive was just dealing damage. P2, he's the GOAT. He's awesome. He sets up Trick Room. Ursa Luna, it's come to be one of my favorite Pokemon to use. I struggled a lot with Ursa Luna. But now I've come on my own with it. I feel like I'm a very competent Ursaluna player, and I love playing Ursaluna. I love setting this guy up. I love dealing insane fucking damage with Earthquake and Headlong Rush and Facade with Guts. It's so much fun. Ursaluna is so awesome. Golden Go just rounds everything out. Honestly, he was kind of meh this weekend. I didn't hate him. I wouldn't replace him. But he did not carry the team like my other boys did. I was a huge Trick Room spammer this tournament. Instant P2, Amoonguss, Ursaluna was my core 4 every single game. I did obviously could adjust, and I did. I think having them did. Like I'm not gonna bring 4 Pokemon to a tournament, and I think these guys did do well. The mode switching of this team is just so broken, right? Like having to deal with Instant P2 lead or Ursaluna Kilowattrel or even Kilowattrel Golden Go is absurd. It just makes the team so potent, and we're gonna talk about this team a little bit more, but I just love this team. And I'm really proud that I was able to top cut. Next up is actually my boy Ragov. Ragov, you know him from the channel. Ragov was actually able to make top 16. We're together once again. This team was just absolutely sick. I had the honor to watch this team get built. I thought they'd win with it. I really did. I thought this was going to go all the way. And I think this team is just awesome. I'm really proud of Ragov and Alex for making this team. And going as deep as they did, Alex ended up getting top 32. With the same exact team, the Life Orb Amoonguss. The Life Orb fucking Amoonguss? Are you serious? I'll break it down for you. I know this team really well. The main idea here is it's like kind of an offshoot of Brian Collin's team because Fergraph plus Incineroar is just so good, so potent. And then you pair that with Torkoal Lilligant, you have this insane Trick Room mode where this guy's dealing tons of damage. This guy is hitting you with fucking close combats and dealing tons of damage. This guy's doing tons of damage. And when Trick Room ends, Lilligant is waiting in the wings, ready to after you, whoever is still alive, to clutch up the game. I think this team is beautiful. Now, that's obviously the boring mode and the mode that like Brian Collins had and the mode that I think is very potent. But then they also added a little bit of spice with this Typhlosion here that deals tons of damage in the sun with Scarf. It was actually kind of based off of Wolf's IC team a little bit with the Typhlosion edition. Because Wolf ran, I think, everything but the Amoonguss. He had Dragonite instead in the GC, I believe. And so this Typhlosion is here, ready to deal lots of damage. And it just adds another element to the team, right? Like you have the Sun mode with Typhlosion and Lilligant out of Trick Room, and then also this Amoonguss. Now, the Amoonguss is absurd, but the way it came to be was Alex originally had played, this was a while ago. I don't even remember what format. It was the one with, I think it wasn't Reg-I? No, it was Reg-I. It was Reg-I before Worlds. There's this hard Trick Room player named Diego who got top 8 at Worlds. And Diego was using this Life Orb Amoonguss set with Leaf Storm and Sludge Bomb, and it was really annoying. And Alex is like, this is dog shit, this is bad, this is crazy. Like, why is he doing that, right? And time went on. Diego, I don't think he caught Worlds or made day. I don't know, maybe he made day 2. I don't know. He didn't do like super well at Worlds, so like most people didn't even think about it or know about it. But then Alex was thinking about it on this team, and he was like, dude, these 5 Pokemon are broken. I love these 5. He was locked in on these 5, but he couldn't figure out this lot. He didn't really like the Dragonite, and he wanted something else to help with Dozo, because these 5 auto-lose to Dozo. And he sat there, and he was thinking, and he said, what if we ran Life Orb Amoonguss? Because Diego ran Life Orb Amoonguss, and he's like, dude, Life Orb Amoonguss might be the fucking move, because you can one-shot like a lot of Pokemon in Trick Room with Leaf Storm and Sludge Bomb. But also, you still have the Spore Rage Powder utility. So you have the really goated utility, and you have the really goated damage. Bring it together with a Life Orb, and you're just going nuts, right? Like, Ragov was able to one-shot Ursaluna on stream. It's also incredibly good into Dozo, because if they Terra, they're getting hit by super effective Sludge Bombs and Eruptions. If they don't Terra, they're getting hit by Leaf Storms. And again, Dozo's run unaware, so Leaf Storm is going to continuously smash them. Like, there's no downside to pressing Leaf Storm in that situation. It still has Regenerator, so it can heal constantly, and it just kind of became this creation that just made their team exactly what they needed to. I think it's a super cool team. I wanted to run it myself, but I didn't want to take it from them the last minute, and I also I would have needed to spam ladder to get comfortable with it, so I thought it was best for me to run my stuff, and it was best for them to run theirs, and I'm really proud of both of them for making this sick team and going as deep as they did. Next up is going to be Andrew here with a pretty standard rain team, actually. I didn't even realize this team went as deep as it did. This was the team that got double top 4s, I believe, earlier in the season in Reg Age, like at Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, this team makes a lot of sense. I think it's cool. I think it's strong, right? You got the Tailwind Bear, just with Pelipper this time. It's like Rizabeth, but like a little better in my opinion. Like having Basket Legion is sick, and I think Basket Legion is what makes Rain annoying. So Rizabeth has Golden Go there, and this is usually Dragonite, but instead you opt for Ensign and Basket Legion. It kind of gives you like a little bit more stable modes. I think Incineroar is also goated on Rain, so having the Trick Room mode, having the Tailwind mode, I think this team is just overwhelming, very annoying to deal with. Congrats to Andrew. Next up, we've got Oliver Eskelin. So Oliver is a player who goes by Owie. They actually are from Europe, and they flew to America on their way to LAIC, and they competed at this regional. This team is nuts. This team is absolutely nuts. We got Dusclops, Venusaur, Dragonite, Ensign, Annihilate, and Torkoal. It's kind of a Trick Room team, right? Like, it's kind of hard Trick Room, but then you also have this Venusaur mode, and then this crazy coverage from D-Knight. And you have the Godlike, AV, Ensign. And Dusclops is just, like, impossible to KO, right? There's not a lot of Dark or Ghost types. There's Golden Go, but there aren't a lot of Dark or Ghost types. Like, really? Incineroar, I guess. I mean, you know what? Maybe those two are enough. But either way, they're both shut down by Terra Dark. This guy is so bulky. He can set up Trick Room almost every single time. Haze is awesome in a Dozo. It's awesome in a Goldie. Pain Split keeps him alive forever. It's just like it's like a old Sword and Shield team. Just absolutely nuts. I like the Ape. Taunt, CC, Gambit is absurd. This Ape is so annoying to deal with. Like, it just looks like a team that's just hard to deal with, right? Like, you have to respect the Sleep Powder guy in the sun. You have to respect the Torkoal Venusaur combo. But you also have to respect Trick Room, right? Like, if he just final Gambits, Trick Rooms, what are you doing, dude? The Torkoal's coming in for free. And Nightshade, the 50 damage that Nightshade is doing is enough to help Torkoal probably get almost every KO, right? Like, 50 damage on Incineroar, that's meaningful. That's a third of his HP. So I feel like this combination is nasty. I mean, I don't know if he's actually going down, but either way, it's pretty sick. He's also got Helping Hand, I guess, to help Venusaur get KOs. I mean, yeah, fair enough. You don't really need another move. This team's absolutely absurd. I'm curious to see how hard he cooks going into LAIC. Next up, we got Joey X9. Now, this was the team that he used in the GC. I almost think bar for bar. Joe's back on sand. Joe, I feel like he had a rough start to Reg Age. I believe he ran his Sun team twice, had to break up with Torkoal, so now it is time for Excadrill. Funnily enough, he lost to Torkoal, but now it's time for Excadrill and Tyranitar, two of his staples as well. This is a team that we've known for a while. It's kind of died down, though. I would say that the Indeedee Sneasler stuff has just disappeared. It's still there, but it's just not great. And pairing them with Sand, I think, makes a lot of sense. I think this can be very, very overwhelming to deal with. And then having the Corviknight for certain matchups and having Ape for certain matchups just kind of makes the team really obnoxious. I actually have played a little bit with this team. I think it can be pretty strong. I think that it struggles against like the Acro or the Grassy Seed Sneasler stuff. But as time went on, Grassy Seed Sneasler went away, and I think this is a really, really good tournament for Sand. And I think Joe made an excellent call bringing the Sand team here. It's just annoying. I think this team is just annoying to deal with. Next up, we got our boy JT, Justin Tang, using the Shiliang sauce here. I think this team is sick. I think that they really cooked with this. They actually used this team in the GC first, and we were practicing on ladder before the GC, and Ragov ended up finding this team and stole it and used it in the GC as well and did incredibly well with it there. But yeah, I think this team is sick. I think it's a really cool take on the meta. I think it's very original. Grimmsnarl is a Pokemon that's just not being used a lot at all. I think they're like the only ones at a high level, so it's really cool to see. I think the team is really obnoxious, right? Like Grimmsnarl paired with this bear. This thing's unkillable. You can set him up with Thunderwave KOs. The bear goes nuts in Tailwind, which we have 2 of. I mean, it's just all so much speed control to make this bear shine. And then this Golden Go as well just shits out damage. And I think Specs Goldie is not very common, so being able to pair that with multiple Tailwinds and Thunderwaves is sick. I think this team is just awesome, and I'm always excited to see what they're going to bring in the tournaments because I think they just cook really cool teams. And this Arcaludon here is, I think, to bring the rain matchup, bring it all together. Also, Snarl pairs well with the screens and with Terrifying Body Press. You can also side Scale Shot to make your Arcaludon go. It's just so many modes, right? Like Tailwind plus Goldie, Tailwind plus Bear, Tailwind plus Bear and Goldie, Scale Shot plus Arch, Grimmsnarl plus Goldie or Bear. It's just sick. You have a ton of utility with this Volcarona and this Grimmsnarl, and you just have big damage dealers. I think that they really cooked with that. Sick fucking team. Next up is James Evans. James Evans running this team. This is the team that I know he used at the last tournament as well. Just kind of a weird take. It was like a Japanese team that Aaron Zhang stole or used, made his own, and then James decided to expand on it a little bit more, add Incineroar instead of Ursaluna Blood Moon. And he just kind of made his own cool team. And I think this team is really weird in the meta right now. I feel like no one's playing it. It kind of died down pretty hard. But James said, you know what? I'm a Worlds finalist, and I'm going to show you how it's done. And he's actually able to get top 8 in this tournament. Only losing, like, he was X-1, and he only lost because he didn't submit his team sheet on time. So he started out 0-1 and won every single match until he finally lost in top 8. An incredible run from James. I mean, at this point, it's like... He's just so good. It's just like, it's actually nuts how good James Evans is. He's winning regionals like every year. He's getting second at Worlds. He's winning internats. Like, I think he's slowly approaching conversation. Like he's just marching along, getting closer and closer to just being the best player of all time. Like, I think James is just so good. I think he's just missing, like, he won Worlds and Seniors. If he wins Worlds and Masters, dude, like, just come on, dude. This guy is so broken. And he always kind of runs his original sauce. And I feel like this is kind of the team that he's stuck with. I don't think anyone else is playing this. I don't think it's doing well outside of when James is at the pilot showing us what this team can do. It's just hyper offense, right? Really, like Tailwind. This guy doesn't even have Nasty Plot. He has terrible ass fighting. Scarf Pelipper with this Basculegion with Sash, which this set completely fell off a cliff. And the Scarf set is like the set. So it's cool to see James still rocking with it, doing well. And then we've got this Power Herb Archer Ludon to deal insane damage. I love the Power Herb Sturdy here with the hyper offense, right? But then this guy can also come along if it wants to. And then Incineroar, come on. Avian Sin, I love that shit. Next up in top 4, we've got Henry Rich. He's just running the same team that I did, but with like slight modifications like Terra Flying Golden Go, Terra Fairy Bear. Everything else is the exact same. I think those are like interesting choices. I think the Terra Flying makes sense. Like, if you can set up Tailwind, have these guys next to each other, nothing in the game can take that, right? And also Amoonguss next to Golden Go is an amazing answer to enemy bears. So I think that having the Terra Flying is a neat little like change to the team that can give him a matchup into enemy bears that like most people don't expect. And then the Terra Fairy Bear, it just makes the King Gambit matchup a little bit better in my opinion. It's also just an annoying type to KO. Also, he has a different Terra on every Pokemon. I fuck with that. That looks aesthetically pleasing. But again, this team is just gives you a lot of options. You got Tail Room, you got the Bear, you got Goldie set up. It's just so much going for it, and it just lets a good player be good. Next up in top 4, we have Zachary Carson, which is a very similar team to the team that Ragov made. It's really interesting that they came to this conclusion separately on their own. They were like, hey, these 4 Pokemon are broken. Also, this guy's awesome. But what's the last Pokemon? And in this case, it was Annihilate with Taunt Final Gambit. I don't know if it, helps with Dozo as much. I'm actually good friends with Mont, who also helped work on this team, is also Zach's boyfriend. And Mont was saying that they just didn't care about Dozo, and they said, we'll dodge it. And clearly, Zach dodged it. And he was able to beat every other matchup, propel himself into a top 4 finish. Congrats to Zach. Again, very, very similar to Ragov's team, but slight differences, right? This Charcoal's a big deal, and then there is just Weather Ball Eruption. There's no Heat Wave or Choice Specs. So having Helping Hand is cool to just push some calcs that way, or with Typhlosion, right? I think it's a little bit different in a way. Obviously, these 2 are the same. These 3 are the exact same, probably same spreads and everything. But I think the Torkoal does change up how the team functions a little bit. And obviously, so does the Ape with the safety goggles. Just gives you a little bit better Amoonguss matchup. And then next up, we have Carson St. Dennis. So this was the player that I actually lost to. I think the team is really cool. This was something that when we saw it on ladder, we were like, damn, this is kind of sick. We got a more supportive Whimsicott, which you don't see often. A very aggressive, coverage-focused Dragonite. And then we have Guts Bear in Tailwind. And he also was very, very speedy on the Guts Bear. Like max speed type shit. And so he was very fast in Tailwind. This is just a Tailwind Bear team. And then, of course, you have this annoying Annihilate that is ready to just Final Gambit any Trick Room setter it sees. And I love the Sash plus the Final Gambit is actually kind of goated. You're able to get coachings off onto your Bear, onto any of these guys, right? And this is clear Amulet Instant. So he's able to just amp this guy up, and he cannot be intimidated. The coaching is sick. There's probably some sick lines there. I think this team is just relatively cool. I think it's just something we aren't really seeing in the format. And he made it work. It was his own sauce that he pushed to the limits and was able to get top 4 with. I just think this team's like kind of neat. Like there's a lot of weird sets, like the Ursaluna being Terra Fairy, just on the team in general. D-Knight, which is all attacks, Ice Spinner, Terra Steel. Dragon Knight has seen kind of a dip in usage. This Protect, Clear Amulet, Ensign, which honestly, when playing, is really annoying to play against. It's very, very good. I think the Ape's neat, and then just pretty standard stuff there. And then in finals, we have Zachary Weed's team. I think Zach kind of has a cool approach here, right? It's like a blend of like 5 teams, right? Like we have Sneasler, the Sneasler plus Rillaboom stuff. We have Ensign, like with the Sneasler, but it's not Swords Dance Sneasler. It's Acrobatics. We have Ensign paired with King Gambit, which is something you don't see a lot. We have the Rilla, King Gambit, Basket Legion core. This was on the Narret team, almost bar for bar. This is like the exact same. But then we have Sneasler, which was normally supportive on that team, instead opts for a Grassy Seed aggressive set. And then with no fake out. And instead of Magmar, we see a more aggressive Incineroar. But also you could look at it from the lens of like the Sandvie team, which is just the same Pokemon, but instead of Volcarona, there's like a King Gambit. I guess Sneasler wasn't there. That was a Ursaluna. But yeah, like it's just kind of this weird blend of like Reg H teams. I think it's a pretty cool team. Like you obviously have a ton of fake out support for King Gambit. I think this Ninetales pairs really, really well with this core. Basket Legion is Basket Legion, but opting for Terra Fairy instead of the more aggressive like Terra Water, or like there's no Terra Blast too. Usually you see like a Terra Blast. Bringing back this like Sneasler set, which I think is pretty cool. I think the Sneasler set is still good. It's still cooking. It outspeeds the entire format, does a ton of damage, and has great coverage. So I think overall this team is just sick. I think it's such a cool take on the format, and I think Zach created something pretty original that was able to perform at the highest level and get him second place in the regional. And then finally, the team that won, of course, is the Bear team. We've got almost the exact same version as my team. We got Terra Ghost Ursaluna, which I personally like more. And then instead of the Terra Dragon or Terra Flying, we're going to see Terra Water Golden Go. Yeah, I mean, again, like you got Fake Out Trick Room. You got Trick Room plus Ursaluna. You got Tailwind plus Ursaluna. You got Golden Go plus setup guys, right? Like Golden Go Moongus, Golden Go Ensign. Just endless options. It's so frustrating to play against. I think Dylan piloted it well and was able to find the dub with it. After not winning since, I believe, 2018, where he won with Mega Gengar. But yeah, congrats to Dylan for winning. I think this team is just so awesome. And yeah, I'm glad it could win, because I did think it was kind of cursed. I still locked it in because it was my best team. But I'm glad it finally gets the credit overseas where it's deserved, because obviously it's dominated Australia. I believe it's won 2 in Australia, but now it's finally won overseas. We saw it a ton at Milwaukee. Well, a few. We saw it a ton in Europe. A lot of the top players were picking up there, and we finally see it win. So I'm very curious to see how LAIC is going to go. And yeah, I'll have the finals posted tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.